Welcome into Tapping Vegas, brought to you by Better and Green. And today we are breaking down UFC 322. Man, this is an awesome card, all the way from kicking off with Slava Claus all the way to the main event, Makhachev versus JDM. We're going to give you guys 6 fights today. We're doing one extra fight just because of how awesome this card is. And getting us kicked off, if you guys haven't yet, please join our Tapology prediction group over on Tapology. Better Green MMA is what you're looking for. You guys get a chance to get your name down there, like Parker, taking the winner of last week's card, and now took over the all-time percentage leader in betting picks. So congratulations to Parker. He's been killing it. He's been on here a couple times now. And thank you to our friends over at DraftKings. If you guys haven't signed up, please go to our website, bettergreen.com. You guys can read some of our articles over there. Bobby just came out with a new article, and you guys get some promos. I think they're giving away a $5 bet gets you $300 in bonus bets right now. So make sure you guys do check them out. Starting off with our first fight, we're talking about Bo Nickel versus Rodolfo Vieira, and Bobby, this is a really tough one because Bo Nickel, obviously his path to winning is using his wrestling, but you're a little afraid if this fight goes to the match because Vieira is the much better submission artist. Looking back at his fight against Petrosky, I believe. He lost to Andre Petrosky, another guy that is kind of known for his wrestling. I think that leads me to be on the Bo Nickel side here also, because I just think he can control the fight. If he can stay in good position, stay out of getting caught with anything like Petrosky did, I think that Bo Nickel has a good chance to win this fight. He's minus 205, which long gone are the days of Bo Nickel minus 1,500. But I'm going to take Bo Nickel on the decision, Bobby, and I'm able to get that at plus 130. So I'm able to get Bo at plus money. I really don't think that this fight, it's not going to be a knockout by Bo. He's not that type of striker. I don't believe so. And Vieira, he's just been beating guys like Tresean Gore, which I have very little stock in. So give me Bo here, and I don't think Bo's going to get the sub. I think he's actually going to try to win this based on control and striking versus trying to do any submission stuff with this guy, because that would just be a bad decision on Bo's part. And we saw how he wanted no part of the submission game of Paul Craig. So I think if he goes into that same game plan, Bo can get the decision win here, just like he did against Craig. That's the way I'm leaning. What do you think?
Yeah, I tend to agree, and I'll also go Bo decision with you since we're getting it at decent plus odds. I do think this is a good bounce back fight for Bo Nickel after the whole DeRitter thing. Time will tell if that's going to age well or not with how bad, he looked unexpectedly to me against Brendan Allen. I was kind of shocked by that. I think he did fight Petrosky, but he also fought Petrosian, so it's a bit confusing there. He lost to Petrosky. He beat Petrosian. I think he's going to use his striking. I think Bo Nickel's going to be content to just kind of fight, like you said, a pretty decision-heavy fight, just pitter-patter, strike, work on that, show people, I've been working on my striking, that sort of thing, and keep it safe. Another big thing is Vieira's just a bit too late in this division to really have a good run. I mean, 36 isn't super old, but it's not like it's heavyweight where that's, a spring chicken, that sort of thing. And plus he's just, at 36, he already hasn't had that many fights. He's been around the UFC since 2020, so not as long as I thought. But, I mean, we're closing in on 5 years that you're in the UFC, and I kind of feel like we've already seen your ceiling. Yeah. And like you were mentioning with like the Tresean Gore and like the Petrosian thing and Cody Brundage and all that, like ceiling's pretty limited on where you can kind of go from here. And the other biggest issue that I have with Vieira is just an absolutely terrible gas tank. I mean, that's how he lost against Tresean Gore. That's how he lost against beat Tresean Gore. But that's how he lost against Petrosky. He lost against Petrosky because of his gas tank. Same with Chris Curtis. I see this going like a more dollar store version of Chris Curtis with like far crappier striking and everything. So, not really much here. It's a interesting fight because of how dangerous Vieira is for round one. But as long as you don't engage in that with him, he quickly gasses out and just kind of loses it.
It's a good point about the gas tank. I forgot he was fighting somebody and just looked. Was that Fluffy? I mean,
Fluffy, yeah, he got manhandled by Fluffy. That's
and
another, yeah.
obviously Fluffy is one of the best in the division. Now, you and me both Fluffy fans, but I think Fluffy went into that as the underdog, and Vieira, like after the first, had nothing left in him and just got pounded. Is the fact, like, do you think Bo could just gas him out with his like wrestling and relentless forward pressure and actually get the knockout here? Like, should we do
Uh,
the minus 200? What is the K or decision KO here? I'm gonna look that up. Bo Nickel KO. See KO decision minus 185.
yeah, I don't know. I could see Bo also trying to feel himself and trying to make a statement since he does
Right.
know that Fluffy was able to get the round two sub over Vieira. Maybe he has a chip on his shoulder, wants to prove that he can do it too type thing. I just personally, I don't know. Since you're not even getting it at that great of odds, I'd rather just take my chances with hoping that he's going to try to just play it safe, just get the easy dub, and kind of go from there.
Because the money line, it's almost tempting at the minus 205.
Right.
But uh, no, I think I'll stick with you. I'll stick with the decision and just hope we get it.
Right.
All right, man. Take away Dariush versus BSD.
Yeah, this one is also a very interesting fight, very similar to Vieira and Nickel, in that you got kind of the older guy in the division versus the up and comer. BSD's kind of had a roller coaster of a career as of late. He was kind of left for dead, and now he's kind of had a little bit of a bounce back again. So we're kind of all over the place with the evaluation of BSD and kind of what his capabilities are in the division. But I mean, he's still 15-3, and he got pretty brutally ended by Moricano and Poirier back to back last year, and that kind of had a lot of people wondering, two pretty gnarly finishes. Where do you go from here? But I mean, he's rebounded against our boy Prepelec. He's rebounded against Huffy, which I thought was a huge, huge, success for him this past September.
Mm-hmm.
That's great for your confidence to go up against that unstoppable force and not only go up against them but submit them. Two submission finishes, two fights in a row now, both in round two, deuce deuce baby. So do we see that again with Dariush? I don't know, but I definitely am on Benoit Saint Denis in this. I had been pretty much kind of a guy who was a fan of Dariush for a while. Always a dark horse in that division, always a contender that people were kind of overlooking until, unfortunately, when we covered that Sarukian fight he had, that's when we both kind of, sussed out that, all right, this might be over now. Once you're going up against Sarukian, this might be kind of your end of the line. You're not really going to get much higher than this. And sure enough, pretty much has been to me the end of Dariush with how far he can go in this division. You're getting Benoit Saint Denis at a minus 185, Dariush at a plus 154. 29% of the bets are on Dariush, 71% is on Saint Denis. No surprises there, unfortunately. So Vegas pretty much sees this kind of how I do, and they're going to make it hard for you to be able to make some money off this, unfortunately. Uh, but yeah, once again, 36 years old. That's how old Dariush is. That's starting to get pretty old for lightweight, and it's also got a lot of miles. 23, 6-1. It's a lot of wear and tear on 36 years old in a division where they really have that emphasis on the athleticism that we talk about, the fast twitch, that sort of thing, the sort of things that are first to go, as you get aged out of the system there. Lost Oliveira, lost to Sarukian, both by finish. He took some time off, didn't fight all of 2024, recovered, came back this past June, uh, beat Moricano by unanimous decision. That's good to see, but I just don't know. I think Saint Denis kind of back again. He kind of knows what it feels like to be counted out, to have people already think your career's over at a young age, and I just think he's a way better striker. He's got way more power than Dariush. Dariush is definitely, after having been finished back to back by strikes like that, even though he took some time off to recover, still very susceptible to that. Benoit Saint Denis, 29 years old. He's kind of in the prime of his career right now for the division, which is really good for him. Uh, I just also think with that submission threat that he's shown, with how much power he has in his hands, and that pressure and those opportunities for subs that creates, I just think that's something that Dariush has kind of struggled with throughout his career. Like he struggled with it against Alexander Hernandez, struggled with it against Sarukian, struggled against it with everybody that comes out, pressuring them, walking forward, and just immediately putting it to them. I mean, they were both round one finishes. That's pretty much what BSD's known for, right? Like he's coming out of the gates like a bat out of hell in that first round, trying to take your head off. And yeah, all of Dariush's losses have come either in round one or two. Edson Barboza's flying knee, that KO from Alexander Hernandez I mentioned, Michael Chiesa's rear naked in round two. Do we see that with a Benoit Saint Denis round two sub again? Make it 3 for 2, 3 2-rounders? I don't know. I'll have to check that out. But yeah, it's sad because I was a Dariush guy, but I'm all for Saint Denis here. You're getting some pretty decent Saint Denis odds if you go KO, TKO plus 150, sub plus 550, decision plus 400. I'd go sub or KO, even though it's only 15 minutes. I just don't think it's going to be a full 5-minute rounds. What do you think?
Well, I'm gonna pull this up real quick too. Just pull up the betting odds splits for Vegas. So if the screen was going a little crazy there for a second, I apologize about that. Interesting, just real quick about the Bo Nickel fight. 88% of bets, 92% of money. So we're seeing sharp money coming in on Bo at minus 200. You rarely see sharp money coming in like that when somebody is over a 2-1 favorite, just barely over. If you remember, I picked Dariush to win in the Moicano fight. I thought, he can come back.
Too. I can't
and
remember.
I really wanted to pick him again, but this is my problem. Shout out our friends over at Fight Radar. Check them out. They are very bullish on Benoit Saint Denis. I ran my Monte Carlo method, 10,000 simulated fights. Very heavy Benoit Saint Denis. Looking at the betting favor, 71% of bets on Benoit Saint Denis, 64% of money, minus 185. Okay, it's not a huge Vegas liability there. Over under 1.5. That means they're suggesting, and it's at minus 166 for the over 1.5. So they're saying, this could go into the third. But they would have been 2.5 if they weren't predicting the finish. And in that case, it makes me do lean a little bit more the BSD side with everybody else. So I think I'm gonna agree with you and go Benoit Saint Denis. I'll only do the money line because I really couldn't tell you what method. I wanted to take Dariush, but everything right now is telling me to take BSD. I wish that, if the public wasn't on BSD, this would be like a total slam spot, but I thought with the way that Moicano finished BSD and then Dariush just beating Moicano, I thought that there'd be a lot more. This would be almost like a 50-50 fight, right? So to see BSD still the favorite, money still pouring in on him, I think I'm going to follow it, Bobby.
Yeah, makes me pretty sad too. It makes me want to call my local Federal Bureau of Investigation agent.
Yes. Yeah. You're right about that, man.
I think I'm going to stick money line too, though, to be safe. I'm a little too scared. I'll be a little bit more crazy maybe on the remaining fights.
Because it could be anything. I mean, he could win any of those 3 ways, and yeah.
It could even be a DQ.
Right. And No, you might not get paid out as much as the others, but if you're wrong, at least you're not losing money, right?
Right.
If he wins but doesn't win the way you said. All right, Leon Edwards versus Carlos Prates. Let's just get straight into the Vegas side. 74% of bets on Prates, 82% of the money. I thought that the ex-champ would have got some more respect from the Vegas bettors, but I mean, I don't disagree with them though, because Leon's looked miserable. It's like he just held on to that title until it finally slipped away from him, and he's just kind of been falling down the rankings. And I don't think it stops here with Prates. I think he's going to keep on falling. Give me Prates. This is tough because it's like it's going to be KO or a decision here. Is Leon good enough and elusive enough? Can he get this to a decision? Yeah, I think so. Prates, can he also catch him and knock him out? Yeah, I think that too. So I think at the minus 166, I would just go Prates money line because, again, I think I checked this out. It's minus 166 money line. If you do Prates KO decision, it's minus 160. It's taking 6 off. I mean, that's just... he's not going to get the submission, but just take the money line and it be safe. We're arguing over sense at that point. I don't know, Bobby. I don't see... I don't have much hope for Leon, man. It looks like his heart's gone when he fights. Like that Muslim Salikov fight against Euros Medic. Glad we were both on Medic because that was just a nasty fight. He gave up instantly. If Prates goes in and just clocks him really good in the first, and Leon goes down and they wave it off within the first 45 seconds, I wouldn't be surprised. What do you think?
Really? In front of my Rocky Edwards, you're going to say that?
Right in front of him.
Right in front of him?
Right.
I actually disagree, man. I think old Chop Chop. I think old Birmingham boy gets it done.
Really?
I think he has a spot of tea after this.
You're just hating on the fighting nerds because the stocks really drop.
Hey, man, I was one of their biggest supporters and the guy that was pounding and pounding and pounding the table and blowing backs out for them since day one when they were still plus money dogs on their cards until the cat was out of the bag.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'm not as confident after all their losses, though.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, I look at it like this, right? So – this past April was Prates' first UFC loss, and it was to Ian Machado, Hotel Chair Gary, right?
Yeah.
And that was a 5-round unanimous decision. That was a typical Ian Gary clinch fest, pitter patter, just all the hallmarks of that, right?
Right.
Well, what else is Leon Edwards other than that same thing, just more entertaining? It's that exact same style. Just it's hard to explain because it's more entertaining. It's the same thing though. It's clinches, but it's entertaining because it's like elbows off the clinch. Like he'll clinch up, but then he'll exit it with a nice little elbow. Whereas Gary just like gets you in the clinch, pushes you up against the fence, drops down, sticks his ass out, picks something up off the ground with his cheeks, does some tricks on it, spins around, and then wash, rinse, repeat for like however many rounds, however many minutes left, right? At least Leon Edwards is like, headshot dead man. At least he's trying to get something finished. At least he's making it interesting. He's making it a little nasty. He's making it a little gritty, and he's mixing it up, going with leg kicks, body kicks, head kicks, keeping you guessing with his jabs and everything. And yeah, he's looked absolutely shot. But I mean, what else is going to happen when you put a British guy up in there against a Palestinian Chicago dude, against a Chicago wrestler and against a good old New England boy who's just going to, dunk your head in some clam chowder and guillotine the life out of you and, reparation for the War of 1776. I mean, Sean Brady came into that fight as a New Englander fighting out of Philly with that rage of the Eagles team and their butt cheeks play calling and all those colonial memories of what they put Ben Franklin through. So he
Yep.
was carrying all that repressed slave energy into that fight against the oppressor of Leon Edwards and his neo-colonial bullshit. So I mean, of course he was going to choke him out in round 4 and make him look silly. And Bilal was just really mad because instead of having a good old Chicago dog or some lasagna pizza, Leon Edwards, when he was over in the UK and showing him around, and he's like, "Hey, you're going to take my belt? Well, you're going to eat these beans on toast first, mate." And he was kind of a little peeved about it, and I would be too. So of course you're going to hold him down, and move your crotch in certain places along somebody's shin and elicit a stimulatory response as a result. So what I'm getting at is you would hate your life too if you were against some American wrestlers. All
That's
right.
true.
If you were just stuck in there with a bunch of sweaty dudes, just putting your face in their crotch and their crotch in your face, and all this exchanging of bodily fluids instead of being able to do what you do best, which is dance around and pick apart like a shot Colby Covington and cheat your way out of a Kamaru Usman, go to a second win over him and everything else, like you ain't fighting Wash Nate Diaz anymore, you know?
Right.
So I think this is a good layup fight for him to try to rebound. It's another striker. It's somebody else that's going to play the game with him. So I think it's going to come down to who's more technical, who has the gas tank. We already know I'm very worried about Carlos Prates and continuing to smoke cigarettes. It was funny at first, and it's like, well, how far can he get? But now it's a little bit too much, right? Like you had a good rebound over Jeff Neal. It's a good little sacrificial lamb this past
Yeah.
August, but there's a world of difference even between Leon Edwards, who, yeah, don't get me wrong, he has looked very dejected and very mentally shot, but
Mhm.
he's still only 34. He's 6'2", got a 74-inch reach. I mean, I know Prates has the reach advantage because, I mean, the guy's just ridiculous, a 78-inch reach, 6'2". But I just think Leon Edwards can at least get this win. I think this can be an example of kind of him keeping the gate. Essentially, he's not going to ever get back to a championship. Those days are long gone. But I think he's a good, solid at this point of his career gatekeeper to the top 10, top 15. And I just think he's more technical than Prates. He's got the better gas tank. It's only a 15-minute fight, but he's a master at those pitter-patter decisions, at controlling those 15-minute fights. And hell, after being in 5-round fights for so long now, his last 3-round fight, it's probably the Bilal Muhammad fight that it was a no contest in March of 2021.
Turn
So
that man into a pirate.
I know. So he's used to fighting 5-round fights. So the only negative to that is, are you so used to fighting 5-round fights that like your conditioning is superb, but your pacing's terrible, and like you're
Mhm.
thinking you can coast and you end up losing that way? Or is it like, oh, your conditioning's amazing and great, so you can go out there and be way more explosive and actually chase a finish or something for 15 minutes? It's all based on how you interpret that information. I'm going to interpret it to mean that it's going to be a positive form rather than a negative. And I'll just play it safe since I'm getting them at a decent plus here and just go money line because to be able to get him at plus money is just too tantalizing for me to pass up. I have to see at least one more fight from Prates to a rebound to have faith again. So Leon at plus 140, Prates at minus 166. I'm going Leon here.
Does it concern you that his girl is an uckus?
Ever so slightly, but I mean, his nan drives a Peugeot, so it's not that concerning.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know. We were talking about Sean Brady just a little bit ago. The clam chowder man. Why don't you take Brady versus Morales away?
Yeah, it's another fight where somebody's gonna be getting exposed as Fugazi. You ever heard
Oh.
exposing me? Well, guess what? Brady's gonna be smoking your homie. It's choking me because he's gonna
No.
be smoking them. He's gonna be smoking that pack in the air. New pack alert. Rest in
Mm-hmm.
piss bozo this weekend.
Hey, hey, hey.
Because I've got. I know I said it last time about Michael Morales, but when I say I want to see this man fight a grappler, I don't want to see it be. You want to talk about washed up, nothing left to fight for anymore. Gilbert Burns. Gosh damn,
Ass.
Gilbert Burns, you burned me. I
That
even
was
picked
bad.
Gilbert Burns for that because I had faith
Yep.
in him, thinking that he could do something. And
Didn't even
maybe he'll
try.
end up like Leon, and maybe he won't do anything. But gosh damn it, Sean Brady is an entirely different animal
Mm-hmm.
than Gilbert Burns. The man is really good grappler, really good wrestler. We just mentioned he had that round 4 sub over Leon Edwards. Leon had absolutely nothing for him the entire fight. And he's also a pretty decent striker in his own right. He can definitely hold his own. He's only got one loss in his entire career, and that was against Bilal Muhammad by strikes, which in and of itself is enough of a universe bending anomaly to make it to where this man has had like the 1 in a million bad luck shot. So from here on out, it should be pretty much like, oh my God, I'm walking down the street and there's a pile of $5,000. Let me just pick that up, as I've already served my debt to society by getting finished by strikes by Bilal. Remember the wall, Muhammad. Uh, so yeah, the guillotine over Leon, unanimous decision over Burns, Kimura over Gastelum, where he was just tossing Gastelum around like somebody was just like pissed at their mini fridge because it ran out of Diet DPZ or something, tossing that thing around the garage at like 2 a.m. while, divorced dad rock's playing in the
Creed.
background. Yeah, exactly. Hold me now. My fridge is one step closer to dead. And that's pretty much, Sean Brady, dude, just in there tossing these guys around. Jake Matthews tossing them around, arm triangle choke. Michael
Easy.
Chiesa, go back to the desk, dude. Who put this man in the booth? Christian Aguilera, get choked. All these dudes basically are like his little subs, just getting choked, dude. Just put the
Yeah.
ball
Yeah.
gag and the freaking
Yep.
fishnets on and just take it. So Michael Morales looks like he would actually enjoy that. So he might even put that on himself free of charge and even bring the harness and the whip out, dude. Might see the
Oh,
first walkout, and then he can blame the loss on that, like Deontay Wilder with the costume. Well, if I hadn't had the ball gag in my mouth when I walked out in the fishnets, I would have won that fight, but I was already gassed out when I walked. Um, so yeah, I just think he's a good enough striker in his own right, and he's damn sure a way better grappler than anything else Michael Morales has faced. So yeah, we got that Morales pack that's gonna be in the air. And if it's not, I'll eat my words and I'll say I was wrong. But man, I don't know if I want to say I'm smoking on that man, because once again, he might enjoy that. He might take that slightly different interpretation and do something I don't want done to myself personally. But let's see what we're getting these odds at, because I wish somebody would put Michael Morales down as a favorite. This is
dude,
what
they're close though. They're really close.
that's too close. That's too close. Only minus 135 for Sean Brady, plus 114 for Morales. You got 57% of bets right now on Brady, 43 on Morales. But you can get Brady pretty much however you want. Brady decision plus 180, Brady sub plus 400, Brady KO TKO plus 700. There's some tantalizing options I might have to pick. What are you thinking right now?
Hey, I'm right there with you. Hey, hey, Tom Brady's not the only Brady cloning a bitch out there this week. Oh,
oh,
oh, oh
cloning
shit!
dogs,
He
testing
said it.
positive.
He said, "Hey, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I am not impressed in that Gilbert Burns fight. He gave up, just like Salikov. Dude just gave up instantly. There was no fight left as soon as he got hit. Say what you want. Dude's collecting a paycheck in that fight. I mean, that's not. And I know it's so easy to say sitting here. Oh, says the bitch talking about it on the internet. Okay, I mean, we've seen how much better out of Gilbert Burns. That was just an embarrassing performance, in my opinion, by Burns. Michael Morales, this
Who's
is
the
by
ref?
far. Huh?
Was it Herzog?
Yeah,
Let it be
exactly.
Herzog.
We might need to check that one. That one might be under investigation. It would not surprise me. Brady, by far the best guy that he's ever fought. Sean Brady, one of the best in the division. Too bad there's so many good fighters in that division. Michael Morales, he's a great striker, and he can take care of the guys he's taking care of. But, I mean, I would be, especially all the ones that we've talked about. This might be, and maybe all the ones that we're going to talk about today. I think this would be the most surprised I'd be at an upset is if Morales won this one, because it's only striking. He has to beat Brady striking, and he has to be able to neutralize Brady's grappling. Brady, like you said, you can have it however you like. I mean, if he wants to take it to the ground, it's over for Morales. Can he stand and strike with Morales? I think he can do it good enough. Yeah, this is an uphill battle. I can't believe how close these odds are, and money is pretty split, which makes me like this even more. 57% of bets on Brady, 54% of the handle. 54% on -135 versus 46 at +114. So this is not Vegas isn't tipping its cap either way. So I really like Brady this week. He might be one of my favorites. He'll probably be my value pick this week in DFS.
I love it. What did you go with the method or?
No, I'm just going to go money line here. -135. That's just too perfect for me.
Yeah. Let's see. Do I want to go? Do I got? I'll just stay money line for now. I might come back to it.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, it's going to be KO or sub. It's going to be one of the two.
Right.
All right. Valentina Shevchenko versus Zhang Weili. Over 4.5 is at -270. Brody, come on. This is Zhang Weili's moving up to fight in a Valentina Shevchenko's her weight class. Am I wrong in saying that if she beats Zhang here, that she's the? Can we say she's the GOAT of the division?
I mean, I think she would definitely have to start being up there at that point. This would be a very great challenge for her to kind of, I think, push her over to the edge for sure.
She'd be up there. She'd definitely be, I would put her. Oh man, it's hard. Just in the entire women's MMA Mount Rushmore, I'm still gonna put Rousey up there. I think you gotta put Amanda Nunes up there.
Yeah, I think Rousey, Nunes, Joanna, and Jacek. I don't put Rose up there. I just don't put Rose.
I wouldn't
there.
either.
I just don't. I mean, she had those great fights with Joanna, but that was it. That was really kind of the defining moment of her career was Joanna. She needed Joanna as much as Joanna needed her type thing for those fights. But Joanna still had a legacy without her. And losing to her, especially in that very controversial second fight, in my opinion, doesn't really negate from that. Don't get me wrong, she was always a great fighter. She was always good, but she just never had that longevity that I feel like you kind of need to be in the GOAT conversation.
Right. So I would probably put Shevchenko at 4. And I think if there's a fair argument, put Zhang at 4. But also, I mean, they're just both keeping that for our other girl, right? What's her name? The
Kenzie Dern.
No, get out of here.
I know.
The heaviest women's division. The champion right now.
Oh, Kayla Harrison.
Yeah. Yeah, Kayla Harrison. I'm going to take Shevchenko here. Just based on I think she got the very similar game plan to Grasso of just controlling this fight, take him down, hold him, win the control time, win the striking advantage. Winning method, I mean, we're not going to get it great. Shevchenko by decision +120 versus the -135. I mean, I don't think she's going to get the submission or the knockout. So, yeah, give me Shevchenko decision at +120. Can Wang Zhele win? Yeah, I think she definitely can. I think Shevchenko, in my personal opinion, I think she's better. I think she gets the decision win. What do you think?
Yeah, this is another very hard fight, a very close fight for me to try to figure out how this is going to go. I mean, I know Rose has beaten her twice, but once again, all right, round 1 head kick to get it. And then once again, very controversial split decision in the rematch, very similar to the Joanna fight. So, yeah, I don't know, man. It's tough. Very, very
Very tough.
tough. Because that's her only losses in the UFC, and she's just been so dominant against everybody ever since then. Yan Jianan, Tatiana Suarez, Carlos Barza, the Joanna rematch. Uh, she's just been on a tear. She's older than I thought she was. 36 is pretty old for the division, but I mean, hell, Valentina's also pretty
Right.
old for the division at 37. So they're both kind of like starting to kind of enter the late stages of their careers here
Oh yeah.
for both of them. They both have a lot of fights, which is crazy to say because, like I said, neither one seems that old. But especially Valentina, I mean, yeah, Zhang Wei Li's been in the UFC for less amounts of time, but I mean, hell, Valentina's been competing since she was probably 13, 14 years old. So
Right.
that's a lot of wear and tear and a lot of UFC mileage because, I mean, hell, she's been in the UFC even since
Long time.
2015. So this one's probably one of the toughest fights. This and the main event to
100%.
me are the most difficult to try to get a read on. It's going to come down to betting odds for me to see kind of what the best value is to go with because, yeah, this nothing would surprise me in this fight either way. Uh, both good grapplers, both good strikers, so pretty much neck and neck on everything. Yeah, you're only getting Valentina to minus 135, Wheelie to plus 114. Uh, I'll just play it safe and go with you on it so that hopefully we're in lockstep on that because I just would not be surprised by anything. Wouldn't be surprised by Wheelie sub decision KO. Wouldn't be surprised by Shevchenko sub decision KO. Um, Everything that they do is the strength of the other. Their weaknesses are pretty much the same weaknesses. It's just such a carbon copy fight that it's just so damn hard for me to get a read on it. So I'm with you on it.
Now, are you gonna be with me on this last fight? All I can say, man, Amadulaya. Whatever those dudes are saying, man. I think we're probably gonna be on the opposite side here, but dude, take this first one away, man. JDM versus Makhachev.
Yeah, Islam Makhachev and JDM, one of the most interesting fights all year in the UFC to me. This one's another one where I actually know how this will probably play out, but the problem with kind of having a good read on it is so JDM, here's what's going to be keys to victory for him. JDM is really good. He was showing this in the Bilal Muhammad fight. A new anti wrestling kind of methodology has started to come about from him and Paul Hughes to where their approach to fighting these Dagestani wrestlers, Paul Hughes and Usman Nurmagomedov, their two fights, JDM Bilal and JDM Islam, is to basically emphasize body punching, which is already a very strong talent of JDM. His boxing, his striking is immaculate, and especially his mixing up shots to the body into the head. So why this is a good thing to emphasize the body shot against these wrestlers is because it already, when you throw a body shot, you're already level changing. So you're already preemptively level changing on them so that you can meet them if they go down for a takedown. So you're already in position to meet them and to start winning that head position battle against them. And plus, the body shot is self explanatory in doing damage. So you're now accumulating damage, which the goal of the body shot is to hopefully start draining the gas tank, draining the oxygen so it starts paying off down the line, especially in a 5-round fight, right? So you start investing in that body shot in rounds 1 and 2. So that the hope is by 3, 4, 5, you're wearing down the oxygen in the gas tank and you're starting to have more left than that guy and they're getting tired of getting the body ate up. And then you start having them guessing, second guessing themselves. And then before you know it, you're mixing it up to the head. And now they're playing a game of which one am I going to defend? I can't defend both at the same time. And it just keeps creating openings and everything else. Like when your friend sack taps you and you start, protecting the sack, but then they go somewhere else. It's pretty much the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So the problem with this, though, is it's great because, like, you're already meeting them if they level change on you. And even if they don't, you're already putting yourself in good position to get like an overhook. And then you could use that for like a clinch attempt of your own or whatever you would like to do to hold him up against the cage in a clinch type situation with the overhook. Um, so yeah, it's pretty much giving you a lot of advantages of already getting the gas tank, getting that clinch if you want it, being able to win that head battle and preemptively start defending their takedowns, that sort of thing. The biggest downsides to it, uh, it leaves you open to headbutts and clashing of heads, which happened in that Paul Hughes Usman Nurmagomedov fight. At one point, they did butt heads, and Usman after the little timeout because they gave it to him, even though they both hit each other's heads at the same time. They primarily were letting Usman recover, and once he got done with his recovery, we kind of saw what's been happening with Waldo Cortez Acosta and that other fight before it, Drew Dober and our boy Prepolak,
Yeah.
where the person who commits the foul or still whatever, the fight outcome changes because the guy gets a rest, right? So even though they both
Ridiculous.
get rest, the guy that was winning, the outcome gets changed. And we saw that in Paul Hughes, Usman Nurmagomedov. And Usman had been looking a little tired from those body shots and having those takedowns defended, but he got that little rest period and he looked completely different and pretty much iced the fight from there, right? So that's a big problem. And the most concerning problem is it also, when you're dipping down, leaves you really open to head kicks. And we've seen Islam Makhachev make really good use of those head kicks, and that's how he beat Volkanovski and knocked Volkanovski out with that head kick. And that's something that makes me a little scared that JDM could leave himself exposed to. Because while it was very encouraging and good to see him able to use that strategy and make it work against Bilal Muhammad, uh, somebody who's dead set on that takedown as well. What scares me is Islam is probably one of the best strikers in that camp right now. I'm very impressed with how well rounded his striking's become, especially his leg kicks, his calf kicks, his body kicks, and his high kicks. Uh, that's very, very good. Him and Umar are probably the two best strikers in that camp right now. So that's pretty much playing right into what he wants. And also, Islam's not really kind of like, he's not really like a Habib or even like an Usman where kind of like they're looking for like those single and double leg takedown attempts and stuff like that, and like up against the fence and taking you down and kind of like that type of thing. Islam's very much like a foot sweep, trips, that type of thing, even an ankle pick here and there and
Almost
some
more like
judo.
Sonda style.
Yeah, yeah, and like some like judo style foot
Yeah.
sweeps and trips and like some judo throws in there. That's kind of his main thing, which still requires the clinch, but it's not the same setup and it's not like the same level change as you need for like a single leg, a double leg, that type of thing to really get deep in on that penetration shot and wrap the legs up and
Hey
everything.
yo.
I know, right? Some deep penetration there.
Telling you.
So that's kind of concerning. And the other thing is for all the Craig Jones, right? Like I do think Craig Jones has gotten something going on. I think he's close to figuring out the Dagestani style. I think he's definitely made more progress than anybody else. But it's concerning because it hasn't really worked, right? For me to figure like you have, for me to think that you have something figured out, you have to beat the guy, and he hasn't really, to my knowledge, and none of his guys, Volk hasn't. If JDM doesn't, nobody that he's trained has beaten any of these guys. Like I don't know if Paul trained with them or not, but like he hasn't beaten Usman, unfortunately. So for me to be convinced that it's been figured out, I have to see the proof in the pudding of somebody beating these guys and they just still win decisions and they still have it figured out. So JDM's not nearly like I don't it's good that he's not going to rely on what most strikers have to rely on against grapplers, right, which is time in a knee, time in an uppercut, that type of thing. He could still do that. He has just more tools at his disposal, so he could go either route, try to time a knee or try to time like an uppercut or something like he did against Gilbert Burns, because unfortunately he was losing against Gilbert Burns until he wasn't. And he was
Right.
showing some creative stuff like octopus guard and stuff that he was learning from Craig Jones. But I just don't know. I don't know that I can feel as confident. Like I love JDM. Obviously, I was a big JDM guy. back when, once again, we were still getting them at plus money, you
Mhm.
know. As the words of that one guy at the expo said to us, I bought my kids a lot of Christmas presents betting on JDM. It's like, okay, buddy, he's only been an underdog like twice, Mister. I bet on Sean O'Malley, but
Yeah. Yeah.
anyway, what I'm getting at is, as much as I love JDM, as big of a fan, I even had him in my top 5 when we did that video.
Yep.
I don't know. I just don't know, especially with the creatine use, dude. I mean, Islam's looking jacked, B. He's looking, thick, solid, and tight. I'm wanting to see more progress pictures of how big and tight and solid he can get, and hoping he's keeping us updated of his size and his thickness with those great progress pics. Uh, but yeah, I just don't know if anybody's figured that out. I don't necessarily know that those things he's going to do with the body shots and everything, I don't know if that's going to be enough, because that's going to play into things that are Islam's strengths, like those kicks. It's going to set him up for kicks. It's not really the style that Islam prefers in the first place. If anything, we could see yet another main event end due to an accidental clash of heads and everybody's pissed off and it's a lackluster DQ. A
Oh,
la Tom
dude.
Aspinall.
Not again.
I know, right?
Not
So,
again.
I mean, but once again, just like Shevchenko, we lie. I also wouldn't be surprised by any outcome in this fight either. If
Right.
JDM just flatlines them, wouldn't be shocked. If Islam just goes out there and snaps his arm, I wouldn't be shocked. Um, what sucks is getting Islam at minus 285. That's what's kind of
Yeah.
killing me, and knowing that 75% of the bets are on him. And you're just not getting anything good with them unless you go Makhachev KO TKO subs plus 180, decisions plus 180. What are you thinking?
I mean, you just kind of said it right there. What is the sub decision? Minus 225? God, man.
That's disgusting.
I'm on Islam here too. And if you want to hear something even grosser than 75% of the bets, he's got 80% of the money too. Yeah. Which I didn't say for Shevchenko, though. She is the favorite, but she's actually the underdog in bets. Only 45% of bets, 49% of the money. So Vegas has to pay out less than half the pot at minus money odds. So that is a slight Vegas lead in Shevchenko's favor.
Ooh, there you go.
Now, back to this one. 5% sharp money on a minus 285. That's interesting because sharps are always going after the value there. You know, this is stupid. This is that armchair psychologist stuff, but everything I've been hearing coming from these two, Islam seems like he's taking this very seriously, thinking about what it means for his legacy, and he's not taking JDM lightly, whereas Jack's just like, oh, he's too small. And it's like, once again, probably something stupid, but I don't know how much Jack is feeling like he's not going to come up and take my belt from me. Like, I'm the best here. I'm sure he does believe that. But man, this just worries me. Islam, like you said, he doesn't look small. The dude was cutting weight to get down there. And they'll always say, you know, like Habib and these guys retire early because it's not because they don't want to fight the people anymore. They don't want to fight the scale anymore. So Islam now gets that weight that he doesn't have to cut all the way off. Gets just work on bulking up, working on his craft, which already one of the best in the world.
And that creatine. He said this is the first time in his career he's taken that creatine.
And the
Got to turn in
creatine.
that natty card.
I like Jack too. I do like Jack Della. But you know who else I like?
What's that?
Our South African homeboy.
DDP.
DDP. You know, DDP, JDM, both those guys fighting these Russian guys, possibly both losing their belts. I mean, DDP, I thought he'd have something for Hamzat, but
Come shot.
dude, come shot. But dude, he sat in a crucifix for like 3 rounds, which is insane. And so I'm not saying that Islam's going to do that to Jack, but I do think he's going to come and have a lot of success here. So Man, I really don't want to pick a method with Islam though, but I don't want to take the minus 285 either.
It's all right. I'll do it for you. I'll pull that trigger.
What are you thinking?
Islam sub haymaker.
Islam sub haymaker?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna roll with.
What's
Islam
your regular
sub
bet then?
haymaker.
Are you just doing money line? Or are you taking that nasty number?
Oh, I'm scared. I don't usually do this. I don't usually
'Cause
do this.
I could see the decision also.
Oh, damn! I thought the sub was. So no, for haymaker, I'm doing KO TKO. That's the haymaker because that's plus 600. So I'll do that for my haymaker, the Islam KO TKO at plus 600, and I'll just do the sub as my regular.
You got the subby pick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the sub is my regular pick. The KO
yeah.
TKO is my haymaker. I really
So
don't think it's going to be a decision. Islam's actually a really good finisher, and especially with creatine
yeah.
in his system, dude. He's
Oh
freaking
my god,
jacked.
this fucking
It's even
crazy
more
shit.
power. That ATP energy transfer process is going to be amplified by that creatine, dude. It's going to be jacked out of his mind, plus meldonium. Excuse me, I didn't mean to say that.
Because the DDP fight ended in decision, didn't it?
Yeah, but that's different, man. That's different. Hamzat was whispering in his ear. It was all a fix, dude.
That was
It was
kind
all
of
a fix. He was like,
yeah.
hey, brother, just let me sweat on you, brother. It's haram usually, brother. Just let me sweat, brother. And
He thought
DDP
he had
was
another
all
fight coming up. He thought that was
yeah.
just part of the weight cutting process. He didn't realize he was
Oh,
gonna
he
get the
was
belt
fighting.
afterwards.
He was fighting something in that octagon. He was fighting two opponents. It wasn't just Hamzat.
I don't
He
think
was
you can
fighting,
fight those thoughts when you're Muslim.
dude. He was fighting multiple battle on multiple fronts.
Oh my gosh. See, because if I take decision, then we hit him on all three. We have a plus 180, so we'll like pretty much cover if either, because obviously two are going to have to be wrong. Fuck. But I don't want to be wrong, though.
Hey, I don't want to be wrong either, brother, but I'd rather go up some units. Number one, it's my first thing.
I get that. I
Up
get
them
that.
units. Up them units.
Fine. I'll go submission with you. You talked me into it.
There we go. And then when he's got JDM doing tricks on it in round 3, looking like he's twisted up in all these different positions and whatnot, like doing some tantric yoga, about to pile drive him, put him through the mattress, put him through that freaking canvas. You're going to be like, all right, he got the twister locked up. Oh, Bobby was right. Hit him with the twister.
Bobby, the way that this sport goes sometimes, JDM's going to go out and starch him in the first 30 seconds and it'll be over and we lose all three.
That's fine. That's A-okay because at least I'll win the moral victory. I'll win the who I wanted to win victory.
Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
take solace in that.
Bobby, we've got a couple more cards. The UFC's coming to getting to a spot where we're not going to have a lot of fights left in the year. Because I think we have a break for Thanksgiving, don't we?
Yeah, I think we do. I was trying to think of the other day who the hell their new deal's even with. That's how exciting it was now. It's like, oh my God, the UFC's got a new deal, and now I don't even remember who the fuck they're supposed to be having to deal with.
Paramount, right?
Oh, I think you're right.
So
November 22nd. That's our next card. So yeah, we have a little bit of actually no. Next week we have a card, and then they'll take a break for Thanksgiving.
Yep, we got Saruki and Hooker. Dvalishvili versus Jan. That's gonna be a snooze fest. The December 6th. And then I think Royval Cop, I think that's the last one of the year. December 13th, if I'm not wrong. We only have 3 more cards.
Yeah. Yeah, those last ones though, especially that Royval Manel Cop fight. Oh boy. Oh boy, you stink.
Guys, that's going to do it for Tapping Vegas. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video today. Leave a comment. Let us know who you guys think are going to win these fights. I hope you guys enjoyed that extra one that we threw in for you guys this week. More articles coming out. Bobby's got an article right now available over on bettergreen.com. I'll have one coming out later about DFS in case you guys want to set your lineups this week, win some money. I believe we're like 73rd out of 12,000 just a week or two ago. So we're hitting it heavy on all fronts right now. Sports betting also legalized in Missouri December 1st. So if you guys want that $300 in bonus bets, make sure you guys head once again to bettergreen.com where you guys can get all of our promos listed over there. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace, guys.
Peace.